Welcome to WrestleRecap. I am Dylan Graves, joined by John Sutton, bringing you the Raw recap. If you want to support WrestleRecap, you can like, share, and subscribe. You can comment down below and let us know how we're doing. But with that being said, let's get into it. So Raw kicks off, and we see Ilya, Drew, and Sheamus arriving. And Sheamus is driving a fucking Cybertruck.
They're going to test the durability of it.
I don't know about that. We then cut to see Jey Uso out with the fans by the concessions area, and he makes his way out into the crowd. The Fireflies, they're still with the Yeeter of Worlds. Corey Graves is in here. Corey Graves is here this week for Pat McAfee. So Michael Cole was out here splooging over Jay in Pat's place. I love this. I love that Michael Cole is out here living his best life now that he who shall not be named is gone.
Hell yeah. Even at the pay-per-view.
Oh, for sure.
There are a few times I was like, you can't say that. And I'm like, wait, maybe you can say that
He
now.
can. You know why?
He the man.
Because it's a new era.
There it is.
There it is. Jey Uso cuts a promo, and he welcomes everyone to Monday Night Raw. But it's Monday Night Rollins, dude. What's going on? Can't be both.
It's Monday Night Rollins. It's Monday Raw. There was someone, other person who was declaring it was their day too.
Yeah, Damian Priest.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
He said
the Judgment Day
it's the
on
show
Raw.
where we all rise for El Campeon.
Yeah.
Jay says the Money in the Bank is Saturday, and only one person is going to snatch that yeet case, and it's going to be him. Chad Gable interrupts, and he's not a fan of the word yeet, so he informs the Boston idiots that yeet isn't even a word, but miracle is a word. And if you look it up in the dictionary, you'll find his picture next to it. Because what he's done in the last 2 weeks is nothing short of miraculous.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, being shot in the head and then coming back the next week and winning a match is pretty wild.
True.
Chad says that he overcame an attack from the Wyatts, his family leaving him, and 2 monsters last week to punch his ticket to Money in the Bank. Gable says that he's going to be master in the bank. Jay asks Chad what he's doing there, or doing here, and didn't the Wyatts get him already? Chad says he's not scared of them, but Jay should be, because he stole the Fireflies. Chad says that they should be after Jay because he abandoned his family. Meanwhile, Chad's family abandoned him. Well, maybe if you weren't such an asshole. Jay says that he told him they can have the Fireflies. He also includes that they can have the mosquitoes, some cockroaches. He don't want no smoke with the Wyatts. Jay says that Chad's family did the same thing he did. They got out from under a manipulative scumbag. And at this point, Chad Gable attacks Jay. Jay fights back, though, and takes out Gable. But Gable rolls out of the ring before Jay can hit the Uso splash. Chad says that Jay is stupid if he thinks he's going to lay there and let him splash him. And then the lights cut out, and the Wyatt 6 music plays. We see that Jay is gone out of the ring.
Bro literally ran as fast as he could.
Oh, that man dipped. Chad starts trying to escape through the crowd, but Huskus is waiting for him, as is a Ramblin' Rabbit and Mercy the Buzzard in various other spots throughout the arena. But Chad escapes through the crowd, and then Abby the Witch / Sister Abigail presents another package to Michael Cole, as we see the security is just draped across the announce table again.
But it's not for the bloodline.
Well, you see, I was going to say that maybe they should say that the security is there for the bloodline. That way the Wyatts leave them alone.
Yeah. Because the bloodline ain't going to do nothing to them.
No. I also saw a thing that Chad Gable might not be the actual target. He just might be the red herring target. Because everything that they've said, like leaving your family or whatever, Jay did that. The Wyatts debuted when Jay was celebrating. Jay took the Fireflies. And then now again, Jay was in the ring and they came out. Who knows?
I still think it's Chad.
Hard to say. It doesn't necessarily make sense to put Chad up against the Wyatts. It was just kind of out of left field. I don't know.
I still think it will be.
Oh, we then get a commercial break. And when we come back, Corey Graves is talking about the Wyatts, and he is definitely not a fan of it. He's very sketched out by it all. Then we get the first match of the night, which is Xavier Woods with Kofi Kingston versus Karrion Kross with the Final Testament. Kross offers a handshake at the start, but Woods doesn't take it and instead starts to chop Karrion down. Kross takes control despite this, though. Woods pulls down the rope, causing Kross to spill out of the ring. And then he hits a crossbody to take control on the outside. Kross tries to post Woods, but Woods prevents it and then tries to kick Kross. Kross blocks the kick, though, and lifts Woods up lifts him up into the powerbomb position. Kross then rams Woods into the post before powerbombing him to the ground as we head into the next commercial break.
I'm glad that you watched that because I sure as hell didn't.
Hey, we're not done yet.
Oh, I know. I just figured it was my opportunity to say something since it was the commercial break.
Gotcha. So when we come back from the break...
Something actually interesting. You should have told me about the commercial break rather than this.
When we come back from the commercial break, Karrion Kross has control, and they have a chop battle, but Woods comes out on top and takes control. Woods hits some mounted punches before hitting a super kick, and then Kross catches Woods with a headbutt, but Woods fights back. Woods goes for the limit break elbow, but Kross catches him with a forearm. Woods rolls up Kross with an inside cradle to pick up the win, and then AOP attack New Day after the match. Kofi eats a cross hammer, and AOP choke slams Woods into the barricade, and then Kross locks in a submission on Kofi's arm. And the way that they were like framing this and playing this out, not gonna lie, I was hoping to hear the New Day's music hit and then have Big E make the surprise save and like his official return kind of thing. That was the
It might have actually made me watch it.
That was the vibes that I was getting from the whole him locking in the submission thing. But of course that couldn't have happened because instead we just have to have another boring match from this story.
I got scared for a second. You're going to say it got interesting.
No, it didn't. We then get a flashback to the World Tag Team Championships match last week. And then we see Priest and Dirty Dom walking to the clubhouse. Priest asks Dom if he's talked to Rhea. And Dom says that he has and she's good. He said he's good. They're all good. Dom asks if Priest is good. Priest says he's good. But you know who's not? Who?
Mommy.
Who? Yeah, Rhea Ripley. Because, he just talked to her. Dom's face just drops so hard when he hears that.
Dog got caught in 4K.
Oh, yeah. Priest says that she's pissed. And Dom says he's going to handle this situation with Liv tonight.
Here
Priest
we
tells...
go again.
Yeah. Priest tells him to actually do it instead of just say he's gonna. And then
What
Dom...
does he mean by do it?
What does he mean by handle it?
Well, I mean, she'd probably handle it.
Dom tells Priest that the Liv thing isn't even his fault, and that Priest is starting to sound like his dad. Lols.
Oof.
They head into the clubhouse to find JD and Carlito playing 2K, while Finn and Liv cheer them on. Liv leaves right away because it's time for her title match, but she just wanted to say good luck in his match to Daddy Dom. And I noted that Liv...
Dom?
Yeah. I noted that Liv has a new shirt that says Liv's finally on top.
Damn.
She gonna be on bottom in a few minutes.
Yep.
Well, more than a few minutes. It's probably like an hour later, give or take. I also noted that Carlito was so excited to tell Priest that he was playing as him. Oldest man in the room acting like the biggest child.
Just living his dream.
Apparently. Finn then pulls Priest aside, and Priest says that Liv hanging out in the clubhouse isn't cool, and it has to stop. I mean, apparently that's just not cool. But I mean, if Carlito thinks it's cool, it's got to be cool.
It's gotta be
because
cool.
he spits in the face of people who don't like to be cool. And he ain't spitting in nobody's face. Finn says that Liv helped bring the tag titles back to the Judgment Day, and that the real problem here is Priest, because he put his spot in the Judgment Day in jeopardy, and because he said that they need him more than he needs them. Finn asks if they're just his sidekicks. Priest says that he wasn't wrong. He said he's the world heavyweight champion. Wow. He says that he's the world heavyweight champion, so they need him more. Just like when Rhea was champ, they needed her more. But now they're tag champs again. So he proposes that perhaps they just need each other. Saved it.
Almost lost my cool there.
Yeah. Priest says that he has faith in himself, so he's not afraid of losing his spot. And Finn says that as Priest's brother, he'll always have his back and always tell him the truth. And the truth is that since he won the championship, he's changed. And then Finn walks away, and Priest just kind of scoffs as we head into the commercial break. When we come back from the break, we get the tribute video package for Sika Anawai. It is slightly different, I believe, than the one that they showed on SmackDown. I think they featured more of like the other Samoan family members in WWE in this one. Like, I'm pretty sure they showed Umaga in it twice, but in the one on SmackDown, he was only shown in it once.
Even though he was a SmackDown bona fide star.
Was he?
I always thought of him more of a SmackDown superstar.
I guess I don't know. That's before my time watching.
That's what I thought anyways.
Kathy Kelly interviews Zelina Vega about if she's thought about accepting Dom's help tonight. And Zelina calls Liv a bootleg Rhea Ripley and says that she's not interested in chasing Dirty D. Zelina says that she's a champion and she's going to show everyone. And then she caps off the interview by saying, "Watch me," while making a face before heading out to the ring as we head into yet another commercial break. This section, there was just a lot of commercial breaks. When we come back from the break, we get a flashback to Chad Gable fleeing from the Wyatt Six earlier. And then they've got new security guards because, you know, the security's been working out so well for him. It's now time for the Women's World Championship match. Vega goes after Liv, but Liv just throws her down. One of the only times that Liv will have the power advantage. Vega hits a few arm drags, though, before Liv uses... Oh, I put it in here. Before Liv uses her rare ability to overpower her opponent to take control. Because, normally Liv is smaller than the others. Liv goes for a superplex, but Vega counters it. And Zelina starts to climb up, but Liv drop kicks her to the floor. Dom comes out to ringside, and Vega hits an arm drag and a Meteora at ringside, and then Ray comes out as we head into a commercial break. When we come back from the break, Liv has control, and she hits the Three Amigos on Zelina, and then does the shoulder shimmy like Eddie. She then locks in Rhea's submission, the Prism Lock, which is it's like standing cloverleaf. Vega rolls Liv into the turnbuckle to take control. Zelina then hits a moonsault for 2, and she goes for the code red, but Liv drops down to pin her for a near fall. Zelina reverses the pin into another pin for a near fall of her own, and then Liv hits a running enziguri for 2, and the crowd chants for Dom to shave his mustache. Liv and Zelina go up top, and then Vega punches Liv down and hits a sunset flip powerbomb from the top, but Liv rolls out of the ring before before Zelina can pin her. Ray pushes Dom down, and this upsets Liv, so she hits Ray with a baseball slide dropkick. Zelina takes advantage of this and hits a 619 on Liv, followed by a tilt-a-whirl DDT for 2. Vega then tries pinning her again, but only gets 2. Dom slides a chair in to Zelina and tells her to use it, so she does. She hits Dom with it. Congratulations. You played yourself.
You just got played. Like a fiddle.
Liv is not a fan of seeing Zelina hit Dom with the chair, so she takes advantage and hits Zelina with the Oblivion to retain her title. And then Dom leaves, and Liv tries to follow him, but luckily for Dom, Kathy Kelly comes out to interview Liv. Liv says that the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour is going as planned, and that she wants to dedicate this match win and all other wins to Daddy Dom. I noted that overall it was a solid match, ruined by the storyline that it's adjacent to.
Yeah.
We then get a promo vignette from Drew McIntyre before we see Seth Rollins walking backstage. I noted that the trailer in the background has the Usos and Rhea on it, and I believe that they were talking about SummerSlam, but possibly not. But seeing that, I just commented possible foreshadow for SummerSlam, seeing the return of Jay and Rhea, ? Because, they do everything for a reason.
Yes, except for Alexa Bliss one. Everyone just happened to look past that, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen anyone else talking about it, but that doesn't mean that other people didn't notice it. And that also doesn't mean that it wasn't a hint. I definitely feel like it had to have been a hint because of placing it during a Chad Gable's segment. And it was also the Alexa Bliss character that was from when she was with The Fiend, which hasn't been a thing since, a year? Or since
it's been longer than that since she's been out.
Was it WrestleMania 38 or 39 that
would have been 39?
She turned on
then she had a kid.
39. So yeah, we're over a year and a half removed. Well, a year and a quarter removed from that character. I find it hard to believe that they just so happened to have that, and it just so happened to be placed right there.
At that particular moment.
Right. Also in the background, Zoe Stark is talking to Sonya Deville, but Shayna walks up and pulls Zoe away. And then we get a preview for the WrestleMania 40 Behind the Curtain. Full reaction video will be coming still. We then get a commercial break because, we haven't had enough of them yet. And when we come back, Seth Rollins comes out. There's some confetti floating through the air, and Seth says that he thinks it's a sign that he'll be standing there as World Heavyweight Champion next week. Seth says that he needs to win back the World Heavyweight Championship and that he can't settle. He can't settle for second best or anything less than a championship. Seth says that if he don't beat Priest, he's going to reevaluate who he is and his legacy. He says that when the pressure is the highest, he's at his best. And that he's not only going to take the title from Priest, but he's also going to take Priest from the Judgment Day. This is when Finn Balor interrupts. Finn says that he's in a bad mood because everything around there is changing. And what it means to be in the Judgment Day, Damian Priest, it's all Seth's fault that everything's changing. Seth says that it's not his fault, and he thinks that Finn is mad at Priest for changing. Seth says that he thinks Finn is jealous of Priest for getting the one thing Finn couldn't get, the World Heavyweight Championship. I mean, my boy was first ever Universal Champion, and he beat Seth for that, by the way, and only had to vacate it because Seth injured him.
And now Seth's a multiple-time world champion and the first ever Universal Champion.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much vacant at this point.
No, the Universal Champion. The Universal Champion is what got turned into the Undisputed Championship, which is now being held by Cody.
Yes, I know.
Seth says that his beef is with Priest, not Finn, and if Finn wants to step in his ring, he'll knock his teeth down his throat. This is when Priest comes out. Seth is ready for a trap, but Priest says that it isn't a trap because it's his business and nobody else is getting in his business as he steps to Finn. Seth says that they ain't got to wait till Saturday. They should do it right now. And then Balor attacks Seth. Priest pulls Finn off, though, and Seth hits them both with a super kick and then hits the curb stomp on Finn. However, Priest hits Seth with a South of Heaven chokeslam, and then Finn and Priest leave together, but Finn doesn't take his tag title with him. Kind of weird. Must have forgot that he had that. Priest got the final shot in here, so does this mean that Seth wins on Saturday? I don't think he does.
No, he ain't going to win a title coming back that quick.
Nah, it wouldn't make sense to put the title on him. Because
there's no story, and then there's no story, but
it wouldn't make sense because they're going to strap up Gunther in Germany. At SummerSlam. Only 3 people have beaten Gunther so far. They're not going to have him win King of the Ring and not win the championship afterwards.
Yeah.
Just like I expect Nia to use her momentum from Queen of the Ring to defeat Bayley to become champion while Tiffany Stratton is ringside in her corner, and then Tiffany's going to cash in Money in the Bank on Nia Jax to win.
If she wins.
Therefore cementing the fact that it's Tiffy time. And you can print that.
Tiffy time.
Print it. It's going to happen. I'm talking it into existence. We then get a vignette promo from Ludwig Kaiser. Kaiser tells us that he has broken ribs and he says that it's his goal to come back and end Sheamus once and for all. We then get a commercial break, and when we come back, Priest and Finn are walking backstage. Priest says that he's glad that Finn's okay, but at Money in the Bank, he's got to do this one on his own. And Finn just says, "Yep," and leaves him hanging for a fist bump. It's now time for the final women's Money in the Bank triple threat qualifier. It's Dakota Kai versus Zoe Stark versus Ivy Nile. I noted that I'm expecting Stark to qualify just because they're not going to have Dakota Kai make it with Io already in. And there's been no real storyline around Ivy Nile. She's just kind of she's a side character in the grand scheme of things. Whereas Zoe Stark...
She's just there.
Yeah. She's just division filler. Whereas Zoe Stark has been pretty prominent, at least in the tag team scene. So, Kai takes out Ivy at the start before Stark goes after Dakota. Nile fights back, though, and Dakota just takes her out again. Stark hits a baseball slide drop kick on Dakota Kai, and then Nile hits a kick and a punch combo, or a kick and punch combo, punching Dakota and kicking Zoe. Ivy then goes after Dakota, but Dakota Kai counters it, and Zoe takes down Dakota with a missile drop kick for 2 as we head into a commercial break. When we come back, Nile and Stark are up top, and Kai goes up too. Ivy hits a double bulldog from the top and takes the fight to both Kai and then Stark. Ivy hits a double German suplex and pins Dakota for 2. Stark hits a back suplex of sorts on Nile for a 2 count, but Dakota Kai makes the save. Dakota hits Zoe with a scorpion kick, and then Ivy hits a bridging German suplex on Stark for a near fall. Zoe catches Nile with a super kick followed by a tornado DDT, but then Dakota hits the chiropractor on Zoe for 2, but Ivy Nile saves the matchup. The name, the chiropractor, I love that. I don't know why.
Just gonna get that back adjustment real quick.
Yeah, I love the name. I don't know why. It's just a simple play on her name that so many other people have done. But I don't know. I like it.
Yeah.
Ivy Nile gets Dakota lifted up, and Kairi Sane comes out to cause a distraction. Dakota takes advantage of this and hits her Roppongi stomp on Ivy Nile. And then Unholy Union come out and take out Kairi Sane. With all the chaos, Stark hits the Z360 on Dakota Kai to pick up the win. And I noted that I would say this was the match of the night so far. And
I don't know that Karrion Kross was good.
Says the man who didn't even watch it.
Exactly.
With Zoe's win,
match of the night.
What's that?
I said nah. It's probably match of the night though.
The triple threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I don't think that I called anything else the potential match of the night other than this. But with Zoe's win, we now have the match filled. So the women's Money in the Bank will be Naomi, Tiffany Stratton, Chelsea Green, Io Sky, Lyra Valkyria, and Zoe Stark. With our predictions, I'm predicting Tiffany Stratton to win. And I believe you said you are predicting Chelsea Green. Yeah. You're predicting Chelsea Green to win. We then see the video from the Wyatt Six. It's more of the interview that we had seen last week. Bo asks how much longer they're going to keep doing this and what are they even doing there. Uncle Howdy asks if Bo honestly believes that he brought him to life. Bo says that he was destined to do this. Uncle Howdy asks if Bo thinks he's special. Bo says that they're the ones that everyone wanted to forget about, the ones everyone abandoned, but they made us notice them. Uncle Howdy then goes, "There you are." Uncle Howdy asks how Bo believes that they can bring them to life, and Bo says that they weren't chosen.
Get it? Believes? Bo leaves?
Yeah, Bo leaves. Yeah. Bo says that they weren't chosen, just willing. Clay in the hands of a potter. Bo says they've become a family. We've become a family. And Uncle Howdy just smiles. Bo says that even now, there are false prophets berating and belittling their family for their own gain. Thank you, Google Docs, for changing the word gain to game for me. That's absolutely what I meant. And my dumb ass just read that. Cough, cough, Chad Gable.
Seriously?
Yeah. Bo calls it disgusting and says that they must pay for their sins. Uncle Howdy asks if Bo thinks that this is their responsibility, but Bo says that he is just the voice of the reckoning. To which Uncle Howdy says that he is the reckoning. I don't know, I'd rather have the Shreckening. They then both say that they're nobody. And Bo and Uncle Howdy start saying the same things at the same time. And then we see some flashes of different things before it's revealed that Bo is just sitting alone in the Firefly Funhouse. Bo says that he set them free. And then Bo fades out and Uncle Howdy fades back in. And Uncle Howdy says, "There you are." And then we get a commercial break.
So is that like him basically saying he's just not become Uncle Howdy?
I don't know.
Or is he saying he's just released his demons and knows how to control them? I don't know.
I think this is supposed to be like us viewing a conversation that's within Bo's head, but at the same time we're seeing them both. It's kind of weird. This is where it kind of blurs the line of realism and supernatural.
Dude, I honestly think he's just as creative as his brother ever was.
Well, I mean, he's using Wyndham's ideas. He's
putting his own twist on them, though.
Yeah, he's putting his own twist and expanding on the ideas that Wyndham came up with. We then get a commercial break. And when we come back, Otis is eating and catering. Man had a lot of food. He had 2 or 3 plates of food.
You don't get that big by not eating.
Chad Gable sits down by him, and Otis starts to get up, but Gable gets him to stay. Chad says that the VHS videos seem to be talking about him, and he's going to need help, but he don't have anyone else to turn to. I don't know, man. The Creeds and Ivy Nile will be right there.
All the time.
How much are they going to keep teasing us with this before they actually do it?
Or as much as the Wyatt Six.
God, I hope not. Chad says that he knows he's been critical of Otis, and the things he said was hurtful, and he knows that Otis hates him. But Otis says he doesn't hate him, but they're not helping him because it's not their problem. Chad says that any one of them could be next, And he says that if that happens, he'll be there and have his back because Otis is his number one guy.
And by that, he means sacrifice.
Yeah, right back to the manipulation.
Just, yep, they're here. All right, I'm going to stand behind you, Otis. You got this.
Yeah. Maxine and Akira Tozawa walk up and ask if everything's all right. And Chad just says it's all good, and then he leaves. We now get Rey Mysterio versus Dirty Dominic Mysterio. I noted that Dom cuts Rey's entrance short, having his music start before Rey is even in the ring. They start with a brief lockup before Rey takes control, but Dom turns it around and then he taunts Rey. It's very back and forth until Rey takes control with a Hurricane Rana on the outside, and then he does the same taunt back that Dom had done as we head into a commercial break. When we come back from the break, Dom trips Rey up on the top rope and pins him for 2. Dom grounds and pounds Rey. He hits him with a flying back elbow for a near fall, and the crowd again chants for Dom to shave his mustache. Dom sends Rey into the corner with a strong Irish whip before going for a lazy pin. Dom tries sending Rey into the corner again, but Rey stops it and bangs Dom's head on the top turnbuckle, or on, I believe it was the middle turnbuckle, multiple times. Rey hits the seated senton and a springboard crossbody, and then Liv Morgan comes down to the ring. Rey tells her to get out of there, and Dom takes advantage of this and rolls Rey up and locks in a rolls Rey around. Dom takes advantage of this and rolls Rey around and locks in a half crab submission. Dom goes for the 3 amigos, but Rey counters the 3rd amigo and gets Dom set up for the 619. But Liv pulls Dom out of the ring before Rey can hit it. Rey kicks Dom, and he lands on top of Liv in a questionable position. So, as we said, Liv doesn't stay on top for very long. Dom tries to get up, but Liv holds him down on top of her. Getting a little rapey here, aren't we?
It's a new era.
I mean, that's the wrong kind of era to be in. Rey pulls Dom off of Liv and rolls him back into the ring. Rey then tells Liv to get out of there, and as he's getting back in the ring, Dom takes advantage and suplexes Rey for 2, and then Zelina comes out to attack Liv. Liv and Zelina brawl on the outside, and Rey gets distracted by this, allowing Dom to set him up and hit the 619. Zelina gets up on the apron when Dom goes for the splash, though, so Liv knocks her off. Zelina knocks Liv down on the apron, and the vibration causes Dom to lose his footing and fall onto the turnbuckle, crushing his balls. Rey hits a modified 619 to Dom, who was hunched over on the top turnbuckle, and then Rey hits the splash to win. Zelina taunts Liv and then celebrates with Rey in the ring. Liv goes to Dom and says that she can fix it, and then she follows Dom to the back, pleading with him to not be mad. Again, another solid match that just gets ruined by the adjacent storylines to it.
Yeah. But at what point are we going to stop seeing Rey and his son fight, too?
I mean, they always have good matches. There's just so many other things that go on that they hardly ever get to have a, straight up match. There's always something extra going on. We then get a promo vignette for Sheamus, who just crossed 15 years with WWE. That's insane.
That's about right for what I thought.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, but still, all the people that were the top stars when we started watching are now the vets.
Obsolete.
Sami Zayn comes out, and I gotta say, honestly, I'm sick of hearing Sami talk every single week because he's basically just saying the same things every week, just directed at other people.
His runs get like that, though. Like, when he gets a championship, it's just him talking until he eventually gets it. And then he, like, disappears for a while. And then people get behind him again. He wins an improbable championship, and then he talks his way out of a championship again.
Yeah, I guess he can cut good promos, but after a certain point, you can only say the same things so many times, and we've just been hearing a lot of him saying the same stuff.
True.
We head to a commercial break, and when we come back, Sami says that it feels good to walk back into TD Garden as IC champion. Sami says that he hears the buzz and chatter, and everyone thinks that Braun is going to run right through him. Sami says that he's going to beat Braun at Money in the Bank. Doubt.
Press X to doubt.
Oh, big doubt. Braun interrupts, and I know that the dogs are barking for Braun. Braun says that Sami gained his respect since he's not scared of him like everyone else. Sami went to him, which tells him two things. Sami either has guts or he has no idea what he's in for. Braun says that on Saturday, the respect is out the window, and he's going to beat Sami down and break him to become the new Intercontinental Champion. Sami asks if Braun knows how many guys have told him the same thing, and if he knows how many times it's actually happened. Does Sami know how many times he's came out and basically fed us the same promo over the last month?
Nope.
Sami says it's happened 1,000 times, and he always picks himself up and puts himself back together. Sami tells Braun that he wants him to want it and to try his best. Sami says that if he has to stand in the ring and tell Braun who he really is, then maybe Braun hasn't done his homework. Maybe Braun isn't as smart as he thinks he is. Maybe he's not as good as he thinks he is. Sami says he'll see him at Money in the Bank. And then Braun drops his mic and feigns leaving the ring before cutting Sami in half with a spear. Sami rolled out of the ring on the side of the announce table, though, so Braun took off and went for the spear around the ring, but Sami leapfrogged him and Braun crashed into the steps. Sami takes the fight to Braun, and Braun flees into the ring, but Sami catches him with an exploder into the corner and sets up for the Aluva kick, but Braun counters the kick with a spear and stands over Sami while holding the title as we head into a commercial break. When we come back from the break, Kathy Kelly is talking to Damage Control. Dakota Kai says that Io is still going to win Money in the Bank, but she's sick of people getting involved in Damage Control business. She calls out Elba and Isla, and then Lyra walks up and says they're so confident when it's all three of them together, but Dakota and Kairi can't climb the ladder for Io. Lyra says that she's going to get up it faster, and Dakota Kai says that Lyra isn't even going to make it to Money in the Bank. That's when Kaden Carter and Katana Chance rush in and attack Dakota Kai and Kairi Sane, and then Lyra goes after Io, and a brawl ensues until officials get it broke up. And then we get a flashback to the Bloodline attacking Paul Heyman on SmackDown. Graves says that he thinks we aren't going to see the Wise Man for a long time. So I'm guessing the next time we see Paul Heyman will be when Roman Reigns returns.
Probably.
I'm guessing something's going to be going down in the ring. Possibly like, what's the other? Hikuleo. Who is... I saw a thing that Hikuleo is supposed to be joining. And
he's already signed.
Right. but he's supposed to be joining the Bloodline, and he's going to be like Tala Tonga or something like that. So I'm wondering if it's going to be an ordeal where he's debuted and they're doing like an anointment for him, and Paul Heyman comes out and hits him with the "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul
Heyman.
And Solo is just going to be losing his mind because they're being interrupted by Paul Heyman. And Heyman's going to introduce the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Granted, I don't know.
Reigning, defending.
I mean, he ain't reigning anything. He's just Roman Reigns.
but
Roman Reigns
just-
nothing.
Well, he reigns, just his last name.
But I'm curious, like, how they get the good guy bloodline together to take on the bad guy bloodline. Because, I mean, sure, they can do that and have the shock factor, but Roman Reigns isn't going to be able to go down there and take out 5 members. He wouldn't be able to go down there and take out Solo, Tama, Loa, Fatu, and Hikuleo, since I can't confirm if that's what they're going to call him, but I'm pretty sure I saw a thing that said he's going to be known as Tala Tonga.
But he's getting Zilla, the Uso brothers.
Zilla might
I
come
forget
in as a
anyone.
good guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If-
Zilla's coming in as
because-
Roman Reigns' surprise last
mean-
member, I bet.
Hikuleo is the brother of Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. So they fold him in there. That gives them 5. Surely they don't add Zilla Fatu and make it 6, because War Games is 5-on-5.
It'll be Zilla, the Uso brothers, Roman Reigns.
And Sami Zayn.
No.
Sammy Uso, baby. Bring him back.
Honorary Us.
Sammy Uso.
Dude, they take the title off him just to have him join the bloodline as honorary Us.
I'm down.
Gold.
Absolute gold. And then he can see how many of them he can break again with his comedy.
First thing he says, "Who's feeling Usy?"
Oh, that'd be great. I would love that. Like, all this is going down, and then Sammy comes out and says it's nice to see that they're all feeling so oosy.
And then the crowd's Usy, Usy, Usy.
Oh, man, I need this to happen now.
Let's have it happen. Let's do
needs
it,
to.
WWE.
Come on, double E. Oh, we then get a promo vignette for the Mad Dragon, Ilya Dragunov. And then we head into the commercial break. When we come back from the break, they run through stuff that's set for next week. That being Jey Uso will take on Chad Gable, as well as there will be a 6-woman tag team match with Lyra Valkyria teaming up with Kaden Carter and Katana Chance to take on Damage Control. And now it's time for the final qualifier for the men's side of Money in the Bank. Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus versus Ilya Dragunov. I said that, honestly, I don't know who's going to win. I see a future where any one of these 3 have the Money in the Bank. I would say Sheamus is probably my least likely pick to win. But I can see Drew winning it and doing exactly like he said, going on to cash in same night. But I
just figured that was the most likely one. I also did like Ilya just because it's Ilya.
Yeah, I mean, I can also see Ilya winning, going into Money in the Bank, and giving us a Money in the Bank match where every single competitor hasn't won a world title yet. But Sheamus comes out, and Michael Cole yells that it's fight night. And I noted again that I like how Michael Cole is doing all of Pat McAfee's normal hype things in his place. At the start of the match, Drew and Sheamus stare down as Ilya tries to get involved, but Drew just keeps shoving him away. Like, just they frame it so that Ilya just looks like a child compared to these guys, and Drew just keeps shoving him off. Eventually, Ilya's had enough of this, and he takes Drew down with a boot to the face, and Sheamus looks impressed. Ilya and Sheamus go back and forth, trading control. Ilya chops Sheamus in the corner and then paintbrushes him. Sheamus catches Ilya and Drew with an Irish curse backbreaker. Sheamus goes after Ilya on the outside, but Drew gets involved and throws Sheamus over the barricade before going after Ilya. Ilya kicks Drew and sends him into the post before delivering another kick. Drew falls against the barricade, and Sheamus rises up from behind it, looking like he's about to steal some child's candy. Sheamus hits Drew with 15 beats of the Bodhrán as we head into a commercial break. When we come back from the commercial break, Drew and Sheamus are going at it in the ring. Drew hits 2 release belly-to-belly suplexes on Ilya, and then he charges Sheamus, but Sheamus counters it and goes up top. Sheamus hits a diving clothesline to Drew. Drew and Sheamus then trade blows again before Ilya gets involved and lands some chops before kicking both Drew and Sheamus down. Ilya hits a missile drop kick to Drew before hitting an H-bomb on Sheamus to the outside. Ilya then hits Drew with the senton, followed by a running H-bomb for a near fall. Sheamus drags Ilya out of the ring and throws him into the barricade as we head into a commercial break, the last of the night. When we come back from the break, they all stack up in the corner, and Ilya German suplexes Drew, who superplexes Sheamus, and the ring almost collapses from the force of these 3 guys hitting the canvas.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Ilya pins Drew and Sheamus each for 2. He then hits a Constantine special on Sheamus. Ilya goes for the Torpedo Moscow on Drew, but Drew catches him with a Glasgow kiss and sets up for the Claymore. When going for the Claymore, Ilya catches Drew with the Torpedo Moscow, but Drew rolls out of the ring. Ilya looks for coast to coast on Sheamus, but Sheamus catches him with a brogue kick in midair. Sheamus sets up and hits another brogue kick, but Drew saves the match by dragging Ilya out of the ring and sending him into the timekeeper's area. Drew and Sheamus then trade blows in the ring before Sheamus takes control and hits 10 more beats of the Bodhrán. Sheamus goes for a brogue kick, but Drew rolls him up for 2. Sheamus hits the kneecap and goes off the ropes to catch a Claymore. Drew qualifies for Money in the Bank off of this and says that he's leaving Toronto as World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah, sure you are, buddy. I fully expected
Press X to doubt.
screw him.
I
didn't even think he was going to get a chance to win this match, but I guess they might be saving it for later.
I mean, I can see Drew winning Money in the Bank, but
he could also get screwed from winning it with CM Punk, either pushing him off the ladder or etc.
Yeah, I mean, my prediction for Money in the Bank is Jey Uso winning after CM Punk screws Drew McIntyre.
See, that's where you're wrong, because Jey Uso always loses the big matches.
I mean, that's true. Main event Jey Uso can't win in the main event.
Nope. He's just there at the main event.
But you had said before that you were thinking that Drew was going to win. So we'll have to wait and see. Also, we never talked about who you think's going to win Priest versus Rollins.
Oh, I fully expect Priest to win. He
Same.
still hasn't held the championship long.
Well, I just don't see them having Priest drop the title. I don't see them having him drop it to Seth. I don't see them having him drop it if McIntyre manages to win Money in the Bank and then cash in on him. I just don't see Priest dropping the title because Gunther's going to win at SummerSlam next month. So that's where the reign ends. That's also where the show ends. That concludes the Raw recap. Once again, I've been Dylan Graves, joined by John Sutton. This has been WrestleRecap. If you want to support WrestleRecap, you can like, share, and subscribe. You can comment down below and let us know how we're doing. You can also click the video that's floating on your screen right now and check out another recap. But until next time, goodbye.